Welcome to the Rise Up For You podcast. I'm Lauren Sweeney, the Vice President here at Rise Up For You and your host. Today, we are excited about bringing compelling interviews to you as the entrepreneur, the leader, the coach, the executive, the parent, all the many roles and hats that we play. And we know at Rise Up For You that you really do come first. When you feel great in your 6 pillars to success as a whole person, you're able to contribute more to those around you. Before we introduce our amazing guest all the way from Calgary today, let's jump in.
Everything you need is already inside of you. The world would not be what it is without you. When we begin to create change within us, we begin to create change in the world around us. Your journey to becoming your best self as the whole person starts right now.
Well, Donna Dahl is an author, a speaker, a coach's coach, a thought leader, a book shepherd, an editor, and the author of 5 self-empowerment books in support of decision makers, including the very popular Learn from the Tortoise. Her signature coaching process is based in neuroscience to move you from stuck to unstoppable, and actually just to get started. Building confidence is her unwavering commitment. You can see why we invited her on, such a values alignment with the work that we do at Rise Up For You, to whom she works with. She's an award-winning empowerment coach named to the 2022 list of top coaches and the 2020 list of Canadian top 100 professionals. She was honored with the 2016 Woman of Inspiration Award, the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal, and the 100th Anniversary International Women's Day Award for outstanding service to business. She has a master's in executive empowerment coaching, and we are so excited to welcome Donna Dahl to the stage today, all the way from Calgary. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for inviting me, Lauren.
It's our pleasure. So I know we want to talk today, in this new year, 2023, empowerment, change. Where do we begin? Because I think those listening to us are kind of in different places, right? You might be feeling just excited for a fresh start. You might be feeling nervous, kind of remembering some things from the past few years. You may be feeling totally stuck and disempowered. Where is a good place that we begin in this new year?
Well, to answer your question, there's probably a number of places that we can make a start. If we don't start, we'll never take the next step after that. So I would like to offer the possibility of answering a question like, is there something that you have been putting on the shelf for a period of time and you've said to yourself, I'd like to do that one day. So is today the day? Is now the time? If we wait to take care of our own ambitions or head towards our own dreams, how is that serving us? Sometimes as women, we put ourselves last on the list. Is that what you've been doing? I spent 10 years recovering from a motor vehicle accident, and then had to take the step toward reinventing myself. And if it wouldn't have been for my belief in me, and if it wouldn't have been for the support that I got, I don't think I would have been able to muster up the courage to take the first step. So be mindful of invitations that come your way. It's those invitations that may be just the thing that you need to open the door to your next step.
Nice. If we simply begin, that's what I'm hearing. Beginning. And I love to ask sometimes our clients as well, what is our next best step? And sometimes we say, I don't know. But if you did know, what would be your next best step? Because sometimes we cannot see the whole ocean in front of us, but we can see just one step and the next step and then the next step after that for whatever it is. And we have a lot of people on here that are entrepreneurs that are ready to make something amazing happen in 2023. We also have a lot of individuals on here that listen that are leaders or executives of a corporation, and that people, as we go into this new year, I love to say, what is a bite-sized step? We talk about kind of, you can't go from like a 5 to a 10, but you might go from a 5 to a 5.5.
I completely agree. I came across a statement that James Clear made recently, and I think this comes out of one of his books, where if you make a 1% change every single day over the course of a year, at the end of the year, you will have changed in a way that measures 37%. So a 1% change, that's it's minor, it's small, and it's like tweaking a piece of your lifestyle, or just the step is so small you can hardly feel it or hardly measure it. But day after day after day, the consistency of that eventually measures up. I was speaking with a client recently where, how do you build a brick wall? Well, you have to build it brick by brick by brick. And if you try to build the third row of bricks right after you built the first row, it doesn't work. You have to build the second row next.
Absolutely. So what are some fun things that we can do if we feel stuck? So taking the next step, that's definitely the key, and understanding. What about if we don't feel like we have clarity on where we want to go? How do we kind of work through that clarity piece?
Well, the coach in me says, work with a coach. Work with somebody who you trust to ask you tough questions, who you trust to listen to your answers. If you're speaking with people who perhaps don't share your dream or don't share your vision, you could possibly end up in the company of naysayers who aren't going to do you any good. But what if there's somebody nearby in your community who you could arrange to have coffee with, or you could arrange to take for lunch, in order to begin the investigation, begin the exploration of what is it going to take to move down that path. I would think that would be fun.
Absolutely. We all learn in different ways, and I tend to be very extroverted. I love to process with a voice memo. I love to process on our Voxer app. You'll often hear me using my voice. So if we know the type of way that we process, my husband loves to process by journaling, or both of us, we have coaches, and we both work for this Rise Up For You. Our CEO, Netta, she has a coach. All of us have somebody as a sounding board, and we also know ourselves. So we know the way that we process the best way. So I think that that's a great step too. It goes back to emotional intelligence, right? Self-awareness, and then self-management, and what it is that you want to do. So then you can have social awareness and relationship management with others.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because until you are feeling solidly committed to the next step, you'll find all kinds of excuses as to why you didn't do it.
Sure, absolutely. So tell us about some obstacles maybe you faced becoming an entrepreneur. What did you do before? You were a coach and an author and all of those things.
One of the things that I was doing was operating a private practice in the realm of psychology. So the psychology is a gift that I bring to the coaching environment today. It enables me to bring compassion, to bring understanding, bring hope, to uh, to bring challenge where challenge might not otherwise be there. If I had done my thesis on memory, and I, muscles that we don't use wane after a while, and so at the point of about 10 years after the accident, my husband took me to meet Dave Farrow, who is in the Guinness Book of Records for having the world's best memory. And spending time with him, along with revisiting my thesis, was a huge, huge step for me to help me build my confidence. I think, Lorraine, that it's confidence is one of the things that's often ignored or used as an excuse for not taking a step forward. So I would say to the audience, look for people that help you build your confidence.
Absolutely. That's one of the things that we talk about all the time. Most working professionals today, and even the work we've done with high school students as well, lack self-confidence. And how do we bridge that gap with them? We like to talk about living up to your potential and uncovering those things that kind of we lost or were pushed down. And I could definitely understand, that loss of identity and being in that car accident, loss of identity that we've seen, from the years of COVID, of people losing their jobs and losing their titles. And that's who society says we are. So that we realize, well, who am I?
For certain. And so having cheerleaders in your court, having a coach who's on your team, having the courage to say, I wonder what would happen if, and taking that step.
Exactly.
As entrepreneurs, we know that we're not perfect every day. We don't do things perfectly every day. We simply bring our courage and our ideas forward. It's kind of like hanging out your bare face, and away we go. So yes, perhaps more careful planning in the initial stages. Of course, we don't want anybody to stumble or fail. The idea is to say, okay, I am committed to taking my first step.
I love that. Absolutely. Well, if people want to find out more kind of about you and about how to do that in your books, I know that we have your LinkedIn. And if you're visually watching on our YouTube channel, that is awesome. And we'll also link it in the show notes. But Donna's LinkedIn is her first name, Donna, and her last name, Dahl. And is there any other place, Donna, that people would be great to connect with you at?
I would invite them to visit my website at donnapdahl.com. The initial P is in the URL, donnapdahl.com. And you can also find lessons I learned from the Tortoise on Amazon. So that was that particular book has been a confidence builder to people who have been not sure about where the next step might be.
Absolutely. I love that. Fantastic. Well, we love to ask all of our guests, what does Rise Up for You mean to you?
What it means to me is that we can't do it alone. When someone else rises up for you, that's huge. It says that there's other people who are prepared to applaud you and to celebrate you. So come on, if you're ready to step in, then there are people who will be ready to rise up.
Oh, I love that. Fantastic. Really a great message. And did you find that as an author, it was hard to begin, as you say, hard to start?
Well, have you ever met with someone who said, Lauren, you can't do that, or Lauren, you shouldn't do that,
Mm-hmm.
or don't ever let me find you doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, somebody dared me, in a sense, to write a book.
Wow.
And I was invited to write an article for a local business magazine for women. And when that article was published, someone came along and said, there's a book in there. And I balked at the idea. And the more I got nagged about it, the more I said to myself, maybe it is truth or dare time. And so I sat down to write the first draft. It turned out to be 53 pages. And I said, I can make this into a book.
Absolutely.
And that book became the launch of my enterprise as an empowerment coach for people who are solopreneurs, people who are looking to change jobs, choose careers, executives, leaders. It has transformed into a significant platform for me to bring neuroscience into the realm and support people in ways that feel very natural to our way of being.
I love that. Absolutely. It's that perfect blend of empowerment, as you say, and that neuroscience piece, that science, that woo and that work piece, as a good friend of mine says. So amazing. Well, Donna, thank you so much for your great work and your own growth journey and what you get to give to others, and for being on our show today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Such an important conversation in this new year. How do you start? You do. You just start. We want to make sure that at Rise Up For You, you have our success kit for free. You can go to riseupforyou.com/success. And you can also text us at 949-416-0671. Simply text Rise Podcast to 949-416-0671 to grab your free success kit and coaching call today. I'm Lauren Sweeney. Until our next episode, Rise Up For You.